Welcome to Trading Lounge and the daily US stocks for Wednesday, July the 6th. And we're still on our bearish count. I've noticed that when we have holidays, folks come back and they tend to push the market up, and that's what's happened, but I believe that will fade. The NASDAQ here, what we're looking at is we're looking at a pretty clear 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. So we're looking at a counter trend to the upside. Unfortunately, it's just gotten a little bit big, and it's sort of thrown the situation out of whack a little bit, and it makes us all a little bit emotional and anxious and so on. But I do believe we need to stay with it until proven otherwise, because we have that 5 wave move down here. We can stay with this all being a corrective pattern, and in terms of labeling it, we can look at it as an A wave to here, a little A, B and C wave to here for wave B. You could probably put this wave A over here. It's not a not a big deal. It's just hard to get a C wave up through here, so you need to play that out a little bit differently. The main point though is wave B to wave C here should be 5 waves, so all we need to do is count 5 waves up to this point. And starting from the low here, just a little bit of detail as 1 and ABC for 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 1 and 2. So that's pretty clear. Then we've got all of this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1 and 2. So that's pretty clear. So this is a bit short to be a third wave. So we need to look at it as being a third of a third here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and going up for wave 5 for the third, the fourth, and then the fifth for the third, and the fourth and the fifth. So I'm thinking this is going to continue to push up next session, but then fade at that point. So we just really need to allow it to finish off this this sequence through here. And once it's done that, then we'll have to confirm the downtrend at that point. So we would need to see a nice impulse wave to the downside at this point. I know with some of the stocks there's a case for so we need that 5 waves down here, and then we can look for the ABC pattern here, just as a bit of a rinse and a repeat of what we've been looking for before. And then we can look to go short here and go through that process again. But yeah, just taking a look at this here, this is, and the S&P is the same as well, with with all of this particular pattern here. And yeah, I just think that we need to play it out. I mean, in a bullish sense, the only other way I could look at this is an A wave down to here, and then an A and a B and a C wave up here for the B wave, or just a B wave up here and then down for the C wave. But we didn't really make a new low here, and as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here, you would expect a new low, and you'd expect some sort of equality to a point between wave C here and wave A. So it's hard to turn bullish on this for the time being. So I think whatever the case may be, we need to allow, even in stocks, we need to allow this move to play out. Now, not all stocks are the same. So when I say stocks, it's normally the main group of stocks. There's always 1 or 2 that are doing something different because they're in the news, or they've done something, good or bad, and so they're not totally all the same, but generally speaking. So yeah, we just need to, just have to wait for this 5 waves to play out. I know there is when I look at if I can just cut off to something different here, the health sector here, there's a good case for a bullish case here that we've talked about before as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here, and in this case it's going quite sort of nicely, is probably 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. So even if we get a classic trading levels pattern on something like this here, well, then we'll look to go long on there. I'm not the sort of person to stick my head in the sand and marry a particular side. I'm just looking for setups. We just want trends, that's all we're doing. So we would look to go long at that point over here for that if that got breached. So I'll be aware of those sorts of things. Yeah, anyway, that's that. Let's move on to Apple, and we'll try to sort of look. There's a couple of things I need to look at with Apple here. First of all, we were looking down here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we've got to kind of stay with that here for the time being. So we need to look at this as the A wave, the B wave here. That's logical to do that. And then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to come pretty close to the high over here for that. And I'm thinking if we do breach that, we might need to put this wave 2 over here for this and look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. And there might be some other stocks that are like that as well. But the other point here too is that if we were going to turn bullish in the market, we'd look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and that would be 3, 4, 5 up here for a C wave. But if we're going to turn bullish in the market, we would still need to have this 1 and 2 here. We'd need a nice third wave up here, and then we'll need the fourth wave, and then we would need the fifth wave. If we've got that, and that could still be wave 2 at that point. So what we'd have to do is we'd have to wait for the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave to come in here if it was going to be bullish, and then we would go long above this top over here, the second high over here. Otherwise, if we do make a new high above here, I don't think we should panic. I just think we need to look at it as a possible wave 2 at this point, and then we'll just watch it. If it moves down, we'll look for trade setups on the short side. But that would be at the point that we would need to be long at that point. So probably another way to look at this is, I think I could have it. Yeah, so in this case here, it's looking at it as from wave 4 here, looking down at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 here, and then looking, I've tried to count that in 5 waves to the upside here. Because it's possible with Apple, not all the stocks, but with Apple it's possible to count that as 5 waves. Not that it's a big difference. I mean, this, and also too, that would be using that as, that's the actual high here. But spikes sometimes, and not always, they're not always correct in terms of labeling them as a particular move. But anyway, so here we'd look at 1 and 2 and look up for 3, 4, 5 and take out that top there. And this is what we've got to be careful about, because you think if we take out the top would be bullish, but then the market could just, we could just come up for our 3, 4 and 5 here and then fade at that point and get trapped at that point. That's why we need to wait for the ABC pattern. In the bigger picture, I can see that if we looked at that as wave 3 here, for instance, and wave 4 here, then we could look at this 5 wave move down here. Instead of being wave 1 and 2 over here, we could look at it as wave 5. It's a little bit small, but it's doable. So we could, on the bullish side, we could look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and finish, so 3, 4, 5, and then look at this here as 5 waves up for wave 1 and then back for wave 2 here in this case. It's possible and plausible, probable. I just see stocks like Tesla, they just need to come down further, and the banks are still weak, and there's still too many holes in the case for a bullish move. But I can't eliminate the fact that they could be a move on the bullish side. But all I'm saying is that in my own little way, I need to prove that to myself, and the only way I can do it would be going long over here for this, waiting for getting 5 waves here, having an ABC here, and then moving up at that point. So that would, to me, I know markets are really emotional, and we've got to be careful we don't get lost in our emotions. So I just use my little motto in my own tiny little brain is I just think to myself, what's the next logical step that I need to take, you know? And this to me would be separating being bullish or bearish. I need to sort it out for myself in my own mind and take that next logical step, and this would be it here on the bullish side. And you may think, oh well, you've missed a lot and you've got it wrong and this and that, but the markets are always going to be there, and with the Elliott situation, the Elliott wave, it is subjective in a lot of cases, and I agree with that. But at some point, then it can only be one thing, you know. But you don't get that all the time, you know. It's and trading's like that. Out of 10 trades, you'll make most of your money out of 2 trades. That's if you're doing well. The 80%, the 80-20 rule principle. So yeah, so you've got to bide your time and be patient. But anyway, I'm just looking at Apple to give you an idea of the bearish side and the bullish side. I won't be doing this with all the stocks. I'll just be looking on the bearish side as we go through. But we will have time in due course if this plays out. If we do make a new high here, in this case, and we do have 5 waves up here, well, then we'll focus a bit more deeply on this with the other stocks as well. We'll look for that bullish case because we don't want to miss out. And on the short side here as well, we can short into this 5-wave structure here. It may not get us that far. If it was going to be bullish, then it would be 3 waves here and then go up. So the bearish case, if you're patient enough, would be under 3 waves down. That would be the safe trade at that point. Okay, otherwise it would be an ABC coming back to the 50-60% of that length here. It'll only come back 50-60% and probably play out around the 140 as well. It seems to be the closest largest number. The 144 is roughly the 61.8% of the whole rally moving up here. But anyway, yeah, so that's where we are. Okay, so let's move along now. And Nvidia, well, Nvidia's quite weak, you know. There's no, you know, it wouldn't have changed your mind to turn bullish here, for example, you know. So AMD would haven't seen AMD, but it'll probably be the same as well. So in this case, I've changed the count a little bit, coming down through here. I'm taking 5 waves here and then an ABC pattern coming up. So it could come up to 160 at that point. It may not be the case, but I can't see any other way to count it actually at this point. But it is weak and it won't leave the 150. It probably won't get to 60. 153 to 156 would probably be roughly about the right, well, the wave, all this consolidation here, if you took a balanced view of all of that in here, that's probably where it'll come to be a little bit more realistic about it. But you never know, sometimes it always surprises you, you know, so you got to kind of be prepared to be surprised. But you always must take the you know, a balanced view on things. But anyway, that's sort of where we are here. So there's the other point that I would like to make here too is that, you know, if this is 5 waves down here and that sort of looks okay to me, then we've got this correction here and then we've got another 5. So the market's not going to finish with 5 waves to the downside at this point. You know, I'm not going to answer that. I haven't got time. So yeah, so I've got 5 waves. I haven't got 5 waves to finish on a low down here at this point. And moving on to, yeah, I mean, it's still not even 7 o'clock here in the morning yet. So Marcy doesn't start work until a bit later. So probably not a good idea to call too early. Amazon. So Amazon's stretched out a little bit. And, you know, I could look at this as an ABC pattern down here, by the way. You know, I could put this here as the A wave here, the B wave here, and well, the A wave would have to be here, the B wave here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. It's a little bit small in that regard for that. So I'll just stay with this. We've got 3 waves for the A wave so far, and then we'll look up as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and fade at this particular point here. It's possible this would be another one like Apple, that we could put wave C up into this point up here for this. Just going on to the large account here. So just from the top here, this is 10,000 ticks, which is pretty much a daily chart really. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5. So we've got like wave 1 here, or wave A, and ABC here for the B wave, and we can look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for this, the ABC here for 4, and down for 5 for the third wave. So we're in this fourth wave here. So it's you know, when you look at it like this, it's plausible that it can come back up above here, but the NASDAQ hasn't got that in it. So you know, the 38.2% retracement level is up here for that. So this is just another count really. But if we do take out this top here, I'm not going to turn bullish, and once again I'd have to get 5 waves up here, then an ABC, and then go long above the B wave at that point. So I was just looking at another possible way to count this. Is it possible to have this low in place here? We could do that. We could put wave 3 over here, we could put wave 4 here, and we could put this wave 5 over here and have that low in place there. It's a little bit small, all of this, a little bit squashed up. But it's doable, but I'll just stay with this for the time being in this case. So we'll just allow this to play out up here in the next session. I want to see if it tires out. And Facebook Meta, still not sure what to call this thing. I've got Facebook on my ticker here, and so maybe it's called Meta Platforms, but the ticker is still FB. I'll have to double check on that. Yeah, so this has rallied quite high here as well. We've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here for this. So I'm looking for an A and a B and a C, and I'm looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to come up into this space. But it is a little bit high, and it could push a little bit further up into this. So we may need to put wave 2 over here for this, and look at this here as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, because I've never been happy with this spike here, even though it is the high. In some markets, like in Nvidia, it's quite high here, so the spike, so it's kind of, yeah, that should be used. But here, you know, we could take this as the high and use this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. So looking and also looking at this here too, we can move this across this low here to this point, and then look at this as 1 and 2, and well, put this third over to here. I can move it across quite comfortably without doing too much. The thing is that I normally sort of pull the wave counts into a wave count that fits the group of stocks, you know, without bending the rules. I understand, you know, I feel guilty emotionally if I'm pushing a wave count too far at a thing, but I also understand the subtleties in how things work as well. So yeah, but anyway, let's just see. I think because people come back from the holidays, everybody's piled in, and once everybody's in, then there's nobody to get in, you know. So I think that that's kind of the case. So in the next session, we'll see that really sort of soften the blow in the trend to the upside in the next session. So Tesla's one here that we've got. I think this makes a really nice B wave here, you know. So to look at this as an ABC here for the A wave, and an ABC for the B wave, and then 1 and 2 here, and then we've got all the way at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the third wave, the fourth wave here. It's difficult to put it's possible to have a truncated fifth wave in here because it hasn't made a low here, so we could do that. But then again, I don't really have 5 waves going up here. I only have 3 waves going up here, so I'm still waiting for my new low. I know waveforms can get a bit complicated. If this was in 3 waves coming down here, then I could probably put this over here as a triangle pattern or something, you know, an A, B, C, D, E over here and then come down. But because I've got 5 waves here, I kind of got to look at it as wave 1 and 2 here, and then still 1 and 2 here. So this is a good example that the market still needs to come down further. It's not set in stone because we can put a truncated fifth wave here. I understand that, but until proven otherwise, I still have to be on the bearish side here, and yet I understand that there is a bullish side. And when you look at a lot of these stocks here, if you looked at all the indicators on a weekly or monthly chart or quarterly chart, they'll all be screaming buy. I mean, I understand that. But I need to confirm that with the structure as well. You know, the indicators are, you know, I mean, they're like sticking the flags in at the beach and you've got to swim between them, you know, but you can still get eaten by a shark, you know, well, in Australia anyway. So, yeah, anyway, I just think that's a good example at that point. So I want to go to, I think we're on the 1000 here. So that's the wave 4 there, and that's our 5 waves down here. So kind of, it's pretty clear to me, you know, I mean, there's a bit of an overlap there and you could do something else with that. I understand that, but this is pretty clear as wave 2. So it just depends on how you want to, you know, sort this out here. I've just got it as 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1 here with an A wave, a B wave and a C wave coming up here. It may be a little bit different. We may end up with the A wave here and we have to have a B wave here and then a C wave up here. But I've got to kind of time it in with the NASDAQ as well, because with the NASDAQ we're just counting 5 waves up here. So we'll just allow that to play out, and then we'll have to have a look for our thing again. So the whole thing that we went through last week, looking for the bearish move, it's a bit of a rinse and a repeat of that. Now I know that's really frustrating for everybody, but you know, the market's the big kahuna, it's the boss, and we have to do what we're told, and we don't like that, you know, because anybody that's trading the market is a strong individual and probably a boss themselves to some degree in their own way, and it's hard for us to take orders, you know. I get that, you know, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles. So let's allow this to play out here. And if we need to go long, we'll go long. Going long here now is just going to you know, you're just going to get caught out. We want a classic trading levels pattern across that 700 there. So we want this pattern here and trade over here. So we need that, and that. So we're a long way off for that setup here yet. So we're not going to miss anything. We just don't want to be foaming at the mouth, the FOMO thing at that point. Alphabet is the same as Tesla in that it's got the same pattern happening. We've got wave 2 here, we can have wave 1 here or here, and we still need to move, it still needs to have a little bit more to the upside. So we just need to allow that to play out as well. And what have we got here? Microsoft, so very much like the S&P 500 pattern and the NASDAQ pattern here with the A wave, the A, the B and the C wave here for the B wave, and then counting 5 waves up here for this. So we've got 1 and 2 here. Haven't quite pulled that apart, still haven't got the 3rd here, I don't think, so we'll still need that, the 4th and the 5th wave to come into play here. If you are long here, we need the first high above the stop here for the stop here. So we want the market to have a nice clear high here for that, and then we can put the stop above that if you're, you know, because there are situations where folks may have gotten out, or you may have gotten back out over here, but generally in most markets we've taken profit or we've taken a good percentage off, but stops are kept out of the way at this point. yeah, once again, we've got this, that's that spike again, you know. So in this case, the spike looks good here, you know. So 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave. So I don't see anything wrong with that, you know. And then the ABC pattern here. So it's just basically it's just drawing us out here. Probably, you know, sucking the bulls in, you know. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. Once we get 5 waves up into this space up here, then we'll look at the pullback and we'll find our way in on that. And the Muppets here, old Berkshire Hathaway. This is a good pattern here in terms of being you know, this is not bullish, put it that way. You know, this move up through here is not a bullish move, you know. So you could put the A wave up here, but it just looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for that. So I'll look at this as the A wave here, the B here, and the C here for that. It just seems to make sense. But we still need to get 5 waves up here, so covering that gap here. So 277 will be the 277, 278. The level is the 278, but when you talk about 278, you can talk about group 2 there as well. I won't do that at the moment, but that subgroup 2 will be aiming for at that point. May move up a bit higher and tell me wrong, but that's what we're looking at that point. And yeah, same pattern really as the NASDAQ in its own way. And square here, it's also the same sort of pattern as the NASDAQ, slightly different, but same. We can see here that it's sort of starting to roll over here for this. So I've just we had this as an alternative count to come up to this point actually. We had this as an ABC and then a B wave possible to come up here. So now it's the possibles become the probable, and yeah, and here we are. So we can look at this here in a couple of different ways. It does look like it's wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 here with 1 and 2 in here and 3, 4, 5 for the third. But I'll just see it could be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. So, but it is getting very tired here at this point. I mean, I still can see that it can pop up here a little bit because this one here is not, yeah, if we look at this as 1 and 2 here, that's sort of, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's still this, whichever way I look at this, I can view it in a couple of different ways. We should be seeing a little bit more to come into this at this point. So we'll end up shorting this back over here or going long above the top over here. So we'll just leave that at that point. And the banking sector, yeah, well, it's fallen out of bed and it's trying to recover. I've adjusted the count a little bit, thinking that I should extend all of this down for wave 1 here. I know that I could put wave 1 over here and have a look at an A and a B and a C wave up here as well. So I'm not quite sure here just yet. But, you know, if these markets are going to be, if the stock market's going to be bearish, well, then these banks are going to be the first one to lead it down. So it may be that I'll just put this A and B over here out of the way, and I'll just put this wave C up here for wave 2 here, and we'll just track that 5 wave structure up there. But it can be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, and then come down at that point. But I'll just see how this goes first. Yeah, I could put wave, like I mentioned, I could put wave 1 over here for that. I mean, really, I could put wave 1 all the way back over here where I originally had it, I think. You know, yeah, I can do that, actually. I can do that. I can look at, copy that. I can look at this as wave 1 here and wave 2 over here as well. But I think it wants to cover that gap, so I'm not going to do that. That's kind of like a bit of a long shot, but possible. So I'll just leave that, let that play out there, and that's the same as I've labelled this one a bit differently. This is Morgan's here, but don't pay too much attention to this. We'll just get some more information first, but it could be an A and a B and a C over to this point. It could play out, but the wave 4 is really quite large compared to wave 2, a bit too large, so it's not quite ticking the box. So we just need to be a little bit mindful of that. Once again, that's wave 4 up there. I could put wave 5 here and we're finished. So that's possible. But anyway, we'll catch it on the flip side over here for that. So we have to go through another session before we do anything. And Goldman's here as well. We can count this down as 5 waves here. So we can look at this as a corrective rally coming back into this space and then moving down from that point. If you're short here already, just keep the stop above this little guy here for that. But that's it. Alrighty, so yeah, just in summary, I understand that lows can be in place. Apart from Goldman's, the other banks have been making new lows below here. So they're kind of still leading to the downside. So and then there's stocks like Tesla that I explained that can, that still need to come down. Don't have to, but more likely than not, they should. So the NASDAQ still got 5 waves pointing down as well. So yeah, it's an emotional time. I understand that, but we do need to be practical and just go through step by step and work through all of this. Alrighty, cheers.